Hey, Mike Baxter here from Heber Travel. And today, as you can see from our map, we are talking all about Alaska. That part of the United States there, one of our 50 states up, but not connected to the continental United States. So there's two of those, Hawaii, which we talked about earlier, and now Alaska, which we're talking about. As you see, it's up just off of Canada, really close to Russia. As a good joke comes, you can kind of see it from Alaska. But this is a wonderful state, a fantastic place to visit, and there's many reasons to do that. We're going to go through a couple of them, but first, let's just talk about how you get to Alaska. And so, coming out of Albany or out of the Northeast, you're going to fly primarily probably over to like a Seattle or Chicago first, a Minneapolis, a Detroit, then a Seattle or Vancouver, and then fly up to Anchorage, a Juneau, something like that. So if you're flying directly in to Alaska, that's probably the way you're going to go. Now, another way of getting up to Alaska, and what a lot of our clients have done, is you fly Albany or the Northeast to one of those Chicago, Minneapolis, Detroit, something like that. And then you fly to Seattle or Vancouver and you take a cruise up along the coast all the way up to Alaska. And then you can extend your stay in Alaska and go into the wilderness up there, and then fly back out. Back here to the Northeast. So there's a couple different ways of doing that, and we have clients who have done pretty much every direction you can do, and for many various reasons to visit that wonderful state of Alaska. So if we go into reasons to visit Alaska. There we go. One of the reasons is the scenery. So if you take a great big gander at this picture, primarily not probably wintertime because there's no snow on the trees in the bottom portion of it, but as you look up in the mountains, it's snow capped. But that scenery is absolutely beautiful. You get to see a lot of that. It's very remote wilderness area. And that's the main reason to visit it. It does kind of remind me a bit of Norway. We did a video about Norway not too long ago, and it's kind of that same similar landscape, and the type of stuff that you'll see there is kind of reminiscent to Norway. Although Alaska is ginormous. I believe that it is over 600,000 square miles or something like that. Yeah, 666,000 square miles. That's how big Alaska is. And of course, you'll see majority of it is on the coast. It has coastal parts, but then of course the interior portions of it with mountains and stuff like that. I believe Alaska is like twice as big as the state of Texas and equal to 22 of our smaller states all put together. It's bigger than that. So that kind of gives you an idea exactly how big of a state Alaska is. And so one of the main reasons to visit is, of course, the scenery. Another reason to visit is wildlife and fishing. Here we have a grizzly bears catching salmon as they come through. You get the bears. Kodiak Island has Kodiak bears. You're getting whales and whale watching. Fishing is ginormous up there. Think of like Deadliest Catch with crabs, and then also other fishing. We send clients primarily to go salmon fishing up there. You can do some salmon fishing out in western New York, and then you can up that to going out to Alaska in the late summer months, early fall, and do some salmon fishing there too. So it's pretty crazy. A lot of reasons to go. You have caribou and all the other good animals that you'll see, moose and those type of things, bears. But it's a great reason to go visit Alaska. Our next reason to go Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. one of the most beautiful environmental things you can kind of see. Really cool, captivating. This does remind you of Norway, as we talked about, but the northern lights, the midday sun type of idea that you get where the sun doesn't really go down during the summertime. All really cool things to see and to adventure and to want to go do and experience in Alaska. That's why a lot of our clients want to go. And probably the biggest reason majority of our clients want to go to Alaska, this is probably number one reason. Probably everything we do probably centers around seeing this feature that you'll see in Alaska, and that is glaciers. This is the Marjorie Glacier in Glacier Bay. So you can see there's a very small vessel in comparison to the size of these glaciers. They are losing ice, but they are still mammoth. And there are opportunities where you can go stand on them. You can come up close to them. You've probably seen videos talking about or seeing where like a boat or something comes up close to it and part of it kind of falls into the water and you get to experience something like that. So there's all sorts of reasons and fun things to do when you go to Alaska, but these are 4 main reasons that our clients will come and contact us and want to reach out to. They want to see the scenery, the remote wilderness kind of thing. They want to see wildlife. And sometimes specifically just want to go fishing. They want to try and see northern lights. So you want to get up northern Alaska and kind of see something like that. And then glaciers. Those are the 4 main reasons a lot of our clients want to go. And of course, if you want to go, please feel free to reach out to us at Heber Travel. We have experts specific to Alaska. As I said earlier, one of the main ways to get to Alaska is to specifically take a cruise. So you can get onto a cruise ship out of Seattle or Vancouver post-COVID. You can get on that cruise ship, and then it's about a 7-day. You get up there, you get to go through some of the fjords and stuff like that. We've had clients in the past who have gone on like the real small cruise ships because they're very much more adventuresome. Those ones are a little bit harder to get onto, but you can still do it. They get you really kind of close to the environment much more than your normal cruise ship would. But your normal cruise ship is a floating hotel, and you get to see so many wonderful places in Alaska. So it's a great opportunity to do that. Currently, cruise ships are still able to go to Alaska. The U.S. government had to alter the law because originally the law said that a cruise ship that leaves out of port in the United States had to stop in a different country in order to be able to return to the United States. So if it was going from Seattle to Alaska, the only place it could stop was in Canada. And the problem was Canada had put no boats could come into port due to COVID. So they were blocking any ship from being able to go to Alaska because the U.S. federal law didn't do that. So they changed that. It's still kind of going on right now. We don't know exactly when it's going to end and when if that law is going to get changed back and, if Canada will allow that. But the cruise ships do. So if you're able to go, you're able to do that. And we just got some fantastic news this week. I think some of the cruise ships are now starting to, I believe it is Norwegian and one other one. We sent that out in our newsletter this week that they are starting to do unmasking policies. So it's going to be an interesting thing to see. We're starting to move forward. We're starting to get back to normalcy as best we can. Still slow going. We want to be cautious as possible, but we still, we've all been stuck and stuffed and couldn't go anywhere and couldn't do anything. And, all we could do is collect things. We couldn't collect those moments and those pictures and those treasures and hit our bucket list and all that kind of stuff. So the opportunity is still there. And if Alaska is on your bucket list, please feel free to reach out to us here at Heber Travel. And I'm just going to give a little bit of a little extra today. And so How about this? We just talked about some cruise ships. How's that for a picture? Isn't that pretty cool? Where you can see. I mean, that's kind of where the cruise ships. That's right in front of one of the glaciers. So everybody on the port side of that boat, on the left-hand side, is get a great view of the glacier there. And so you get to see all that kind of stuff. And Princess is one of the ones we like to send a lot of people on. Now, another opportunity you can take, and this is how you extend your cruise ship from just being on a cruise ship to a land kind of vacation. And the best way to get around Alaska to its main focal points and stuff like that is by train. So another thing you can add on, and Princess Cruises does this as an add-on to the end of their trip, where you're able to take a train, to more remote areas of Alaska. And, it's fantastic to see these type of things. You got to think of, it's pretty cool. If you really think of reality television and how many are based in Alaska. So you have like Deadliest Catch, which is crab fishing, which is just south of Alaska or up and around, but they're in the ocean just south of Alaska, so that's pretty cool. You have like Gold Rush, they're mining in Alaska. You get Ice Road Truckers. I mean, they're kind of in Canada, but also partially Alaska. Just 3 reality TV shows I think off the top of my head that have something to do with Alaska, and it's a really cool place to go. So that's about all I want to talk to you about with Alaska. So this is Mike from Heber Travel. Of course, if you like this video, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. We're going to be doing these once a week or so. We'll also be talking to some of our BDMs and some of our agents and then maybe even some of our clients, talking about what they did and what, how they felt about their trips. But people are traveling again. We have people that are traveling out of the country right as we speak today, and they hopefully are gotten there safe, but we haven't heard anything yet, so we should be all good. But they're traveling today. People are going outside of the country. There are opportunities to do that, and to do it safely. We're going to let you know all of the restrictions, and of course I always advise anybody to use a travel agent. There's so many factors going in more today due to COVID than any other time since 9/11. So you want to make sure that you have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. So till next time, Mike out.